Nigeria has pulled a major plot twist in the ongoing saga of its oil industry. This week, the government decided to block Shell's $2.4 billion sale of onshore assets to the Renaissance Consortium, leaving investors clutching their heads in disbelief, analysts scratching their chins, and a bunch of oil barrels still sitting on the dust. Let's unpack this. President Bola Tinubu has been putting on his best suit, making grand speeches and sending "come invest in Nigeria" vibes to the world. In fact, he's been working up a sweat trying to charm foreign investors, all while Nigeria's economy grapples with a fiscal crisis that feels like a never-ending hangover. But then the upstream regulator swoops in, telling Shell to hold on to its assets for now, with no reasons, no explanations. Now, ExxonMobil managed to get approval for their own onshore asset sale to Seplat Energy. Some people see this as favoritism, but it took 2.5 years. That's longer than the average Nigerian politician stays committed to a campaign promise. If Exxon had to wait that long, then Shell might just find a chair and sit down for some time. Tinubu is out there saying we are open for business, but when it comes to actually making deals happen, there is a lot of foot dragging. Nigeria is not exactly in the best shape right now. Foreign investment is sliding downhill. Last year, investment inflows hit a measly $3.9 billion, down from $5.3 billion the year before. And let's not even mention the glorious $24 billion they pulled in just 5 years ago. And the oil assets Shell is trying to sell? Well, they're either underperforming or flat out dormant. But a little TLC and some cash could get those assets pumping again, and Nigeria desperately needs it because the country's oil production is falling short at 1.35 million barrels per day against a goal of 2 million. It's not just the oil sector feeling Nigeria's currency crisis. Brands like Procter & Gamble, GSK, and Bayer have either packed up or have handed over the operations to third parties. Even MTN, Nigeria's telecom giant, is scratching its head, wondering how the naira got so weak so fast. So foreign currency shortages is a recurring theme, and it's pushing multinationals to either bounce or bite the bullet. Meanwhile, Kola Karim, CEO of Shoreline Energy, says the assets sold to Seplat were low-hanging fruit. So the question is, what about Shell's assets? Are those also low-hanging fruits? Let's call it what it is. Nigeria needs to streamline its regulatory approval processes. Waiting for more than 2 years to sell oil assets is like trying to drive a Ferrari with a parking brake on. Not only does it kill momentum, but it also scares away potential investors who might wonder if this really is worth the hustle. Add that to power shortages, corruption, and you have yourself a recipe for frustrated investors. Energy lawyers even say the country needs to improve how quickly it grants approvals. Swifter approvals could actually bring in that sweet foreign currency Nigeria desperately needs. But on the flip side, executive orders have raised the amount oil firms can spend without going through the tender process to $10 million. So at the end of the day, the Tinubu government is caught in between the line of telling investors to come in and regulatory delays leaving them stranded in the shallow end. The blocked Shell deal shows just how much work Nigeria has to do if it wants to be a true global player in oil and beyond.